October 29, 2025, Prime Minister of India announced a transformative initiative that marks a pivotal moment in India's maritime and logistic history. The launch of the Bharat Container Shipping Line or BCSL, India's first national container carrier, backed by a massive 6.9 billion investment, signals India's determination to wrest control of its seaborne trade from foreign shipping giants. This announcement, made during India Maritime Week 2025 in Mumbai, is part of an even grander vision, a staggering $26 billion maritime investment encompassing 437 new vessels across multiple sectors. But what does this mean for India's exporters, logistic infrastructure and position in global trade? And can a nascent national carrier compete against entrenched global giants like Maersk, MSC and COSCO? Let's take a look in today's episode of Logistically Speaking. India conducts approximately 95% of its trade by volume through maritime route, yet Indian shipping companies handle only about 5 to 10% of this cargo. The remaining 90 to 95% is carried by foreign lines, predominantly Maersk, MSC and COSCO, resulting in massive foreign exchange outflow and limited leverage in freight negotiation. This dependency has tangible cost. Indian exporters face unpredictable freight rates, container shortages during peak season and supply chain disruption. For example, during periods of high global demand, foreign carriers prioritize their own market or alliances, leaving Indian shippers vulnerable to capacity constraints and inflated prices. A striking reality is that India's share of global container shipping remains minimal compared to China's COSCO, which dominates with nearly 4.9 million TEUs handled annually. This imbalance has long constrained India's competitive advantage in global trade, particularly for exporters in labor-intensive sectors already facing tariff pressure. The BCSL launches with a fleet of 51 box ships backed by a 6.9 billion investment, operated as a public-private partnership supported by India's Maritime Development Fund. Initially focusing on regional route across Asia, West Asia and the Red Sea, the line plans to expand globally to Europe, Africa and the Americas. The strategic goals are clear: reduce India's freight cost, retain foreign exchange, create supply chain stability and ultimately carry at least 20% of India's containerized cargo on Indian flagged vessel within a decade. The broader context includes the government's Maritime India Vision 2047, where India aspires to become a top 5 global shipbuilding hub by capturing 5% of the market. As part of this overarching strategy, the Indian government announced it will invest 70,000 crore, that is 8.4 billion, in shipbuilding infrastructure, policy reforms and maritime skill development. India's move echoes successful state-led shipping initiatives by China, South Korea and the UAE. China's COSCO Shipping Corporation is now a global maritime giant, controlling critical shipping corridors and leveraging its fleet as a strategic asset in Belt and Road Initiative projects. However, history also reveals cautionary tales. Many national shipping lines launched with fanfare have struggled due to fleet aging, operational inefficiencies and inability to compete on service quality. Success requires sustained capital investment, world-class management, modern technology and strategic partnerships. Short-term benefits include predictable freight rates for Indian exporters, reduced container shortages and improved port utilization. Shipping Corporation of India plans to expand its overall fleet to 216 vessels by 2047, underlining the government's long-term commitment. Longer-term implications are profound. If BCSL gains even 10 to 15% market share on key routes, India could retain 2 to 3 billion annually in freight revenues. This capital can fuel reinvestment in vessel, technology and skill, strengthening India's maritime ecosystem and supporting the $2 trillion export target by 2030. The initiative also creates high-value employment in shipping management, port operations, logistic coordination and maritime skill, aligning with India's job creation agenda. BCSL faces competitive pressures from entrenched global carriers with superior technology, economies of scale and established customer network. Operational efficiency, reliable service delivery and competitive pricing will determine success. To maximize impact, India must also execute complementary reforms, modernize port infrastructure, digitalize customs and cargo procedures and ensure seamless integration between BCSL and Indian ports. The simultaneous investment in Vizhinjam Deepwater Port, Vadhavan Port which is of 76,000 crore and port capacity expansion are critical enablers. The Bharat Container Shipping Line represents far more than a single shipping venture. It symbolizes India's determination to reshape its role in global maritime trade. By combining state investment, infrastructure modernization, and entrepreneurial ambition, India is positioning itself to capture greater control over its economic destiny. If BCSL executes efficiently, effectively, and adapts to market dynamics, it could fundamentally alter maritime economies on key trade routes, reduce logistic costs for Indian business, and strengthen India's standing as a preferred logistic partner globally. If this vision of India's maritime transformation resonated, please like, share, and comment your views on whether a national shipping line can truly challenge global giants. Don't forget to subscribe for in-depth perspectives on India's evolving trade and logistic landscape. Thank you for watching and see you next time.